My name is Emily and I'm 36. I weathered a divorce 2 years ago that left quite a wound in my heart. Nowadays, I lend a hand in the family business and bask in quieter days. But sometimes, when I stroll down memory lane, a tidal wave of memories from my turbulent marriage come crashing in. The man I was married to was named Owen, a guy 4 years my senior. He was a sucker for booze and gambling. He was the type who'd rather spend his time goofing off than putting in an honest day's work. Even now, just thinking of him leaves a bad taste in my mouth. The kicker is before we got married, he never flashed any signs of being this way. I had complete faith in him and was daydreaming of wedded bliss. But a mere 3 days after we got married, he let his true flag fly.
You didn't actually believe you turned into a housewife just because we got married, did you? Just so we're clear, gambling is my bread and butter. You better bring home the bacon for it. Women ought to zip it and toe the line.
He actually dropped that bomb on me. Fighting while we were dating, he was all sweetness and light, not just to me, but also to my folks. But as soon as we got married, his demeanor did a complete 180. I was utterly shocked, grappling to grasp what was going on.
Hang on, you said we'd start trying for a baby as soon as we got married. I've already handed in my notice at work. They've even lined up a replacement. I can't flip the script now and say I want to keep my job.
But when I voiced that, he shot me a dirty look and said,
What the hell are you doing going rogue? I start with, I can't stand kids. I never planned on having them. Kids are just a racket and a nuisance. Give me a break. Anyway, you better start job hunting real soon. It's your responsibility to back me up.
I was dumbfounded by how much he'd changed. But by the time I woke up to his true character, it was too late to do a U-turn. And the real kicker was, Owen was a whiz at playing pretend. My parents were sold on him being a stand-up guy. Even when we had a row and I retreated to my parents' house, my mom would say,
Emily, when you're a twosome, you gotta tackle plenty of obstacles together. Good men like Owen are hard to come by. It's key to say sorry and avoid being headstrong or showy.
Even if I unveiled the real Owen, they wouldn't buy it. My folks would probably wonder, what's she going on about? I guess that's a testament to his knack for spinning a yarn and hoodwinking folks. So when I declared I wanted out, my parents were utterly floored. Even when I exposed Owen, they said, "What are you rattling on about?"
You've only been hitched for 6 months. You're just getting into the swing of things, so what are you on about? You've always been a bit self-centered, but you can't just call it quits on a marriage willy-nilly.
They started schooling me. My mom even tried to haul me back home. No matter what I said, I fell on deaf ears. I bawled my eyes out, saying, "Why won't you believe me, Mom and Dad?"
I'm crying out for help, but you're taking Owen's side over me. Fine. If that's the game, I'm cutting you both loose. I'm divorcing Owen, and I'm never coming back to this house again.
I huffed out of the house, and my folks were initially opposed to the divorce, but they must have sniffed out that something was up with me. After that, my dad went undercover and snooped on Owen. He uncovered that Owen wasn't pulling his weight at work, was gambling, and was verbally assaulting me during his nightly binges. Thanks to a pile of evidence, I managed to secure a divorce and walked away with a settlement. But ever since that chapter, I found it hard to let my guard down around people. But I tumbled into something resembling a fear of people, or more specifically, men. Helping out with my dad's work, I'd cross paths with all sorts of characters. But every time I'd meet someone who seemed nice with a chill vibe, I'd get flashes of Owen. I'd start to think, this person appears decent enough on the surface, but perhaps behind closed doors, who knows what's cooking in their mind. They might be plotting to put me down or brewing some hidden agenda. First, these thoughts began to pop up. It took me 2 years to release those stinging emotions from my past. When I finally rediscovered my old spirit and found myself belly laughing with friends again, that's when I crossed paths with my current boyfriend, Leo.
As Leo's a stand-up guy who gets all of my past bumps in the road, and then I'd been to be...
He treats my concerns as his own.
You've weathered quite the storm, but there's no need to rush for getting it. You can take it slow, Emily. I folks are as chill as they come.
He was always reminding me that it's okay to roll with life at my own speed. Leo's folks are super welcoming too. We've gone out for dinner a handful of times.
Emily, if you ever hit a snag with Leo, don't hesitate to tell me. I'm always on your side. After all, I guess gals understand the trials and tribulations. US gals understand the trials and tribulations that only women can grasp. It's us ladies who can relate to each other.
She would share such sentiments with me. Spending time with them brings a sense of calm and comfort to my mind. It's the first time, apart from my own folks, that I've been able to be my true self without any awkwardness. I started to believe that I need to treasure these people. As our relationship grew, we started mulling over marriage. I was still plagued by vivid memories of my past, but Leo would always chime in during those moments.
It might sound like a broken record, but I'm not your ex, Emily. I promise I'll bring you joy. I want to keep you safe, so please trust in me.
Thank you. I'm so happy, but I'm sorry. Sometimes those bad memories still resurface, but I truly love and respect you, Leo. I want to be with you.
When I first plainly expressed my feelings, he beamed with joy. After a year of dating, Leo popped the question. Despite my past traumas, I placed my trust in Leo and his family. I can genuinely rely on Leo.
I'm going to adopt a sunny outlook on my second act from now on.
When I shared my true feelings with my mom, she responded joyfully.
I am so happy for you, sweetie. And despite it all, I reckon you're going to be all right now. You look so blissful, even enviable and glowing.
I started to view my second act with fresh eyes. A few days later, I got a wedding invite from my high school bestie. Her name is Mila, and she's fully clued in on my history. And holding the wedding invite, I promptly gave her a call.
I got your wedding invite. I'll be there for sure. I'm buzzing with excitement. I might just bawl my eyes out when I see you in your wedding gown.
What are you on about, Molly? You're the one who's on cloud 9, right? This, of course, I'm over the moon too, but I won't let you outdo me. By the way, I'm counting on you for the maid of honor speech. We got a full house, so I'm gunning for a tearjerker.
We gabbed and strolled down memory lane for over an hour. It's such a delight to see your best friend tie the knot. My parents must have been over the moon when I got married. Comparing my journey with Mila's, I savored my happiness. Then, after several days of stewing over the maid of honor speech, I also got a beautiful dress for the big day. It was the wedding day, which I was as psyched about as if it were my own, came around in no time. It was a bright and cheery day, picture perfect for a wedding. At Twain, I was so thrilled. I showed up a bit early to the venue, but guess who? I was so thrilled. I showed up a bit early to the venue, but guess who when? The one I hoped to never cross paths with again. Huh, why? Why is Owen here? I thought to myself, it looked like he was asking himself the same question. The moment he spotted me, he broke out in hearty laughter for some unknown reason.
What brings you to a place like this? It's so hilarious.
Well, I should be saying that. I fired back frostily at Owen, who just kept on chuckling away. That day, I was sure only Mila's ceremony was scheduled, which meant Owen and I were stuck at the same venue. From his chatter, it seemed like Owen was attending the ceremony as a guest from the groom's side. Of all the days, it's the pits running into your ex who you divorced on such a stellar day. You've perked up since we divorced. Did you score a new beau or something? Or did you tie the knot again? If so, that would be a riot.
You've put me through so much. Don't act so cocky when you're clueless. I never wanted to see your face again. Seeing me on the brink of tears, he let out another boisterous laugh. You were the one who wanted to divorce me. You even took alimony from me, a guy who's flat broke, quit the climbing around. I'll despise you till the end of my days. Don't forget that.
And after all this time, a jerk remains a jerk. I even found myself thinking it was a good thing we split up. After that, I held back my tears and made a beeline for the ladies' room. I just wanted to avoid him. Wished he would just buzz off. As I composed myself and was heading to the receptionist, I heard a voice call out my name from behind.
Emily, long time no see. You looking good.
Oh, hi. It's so nice to see you again.
Mikey, while we were shooting the breeze and making our way to the reception, there was Owen, who I hoped to never lay eyes on again, standing right in front of me.
Wow, talk about surprise. Is just pondering about you, wondering if there would be a sucker who would tie the knot with a woman like you, and lo and behold, you've hitched your wagon to an older gentleman, haven't you? As new, you've always been so eccentric and high maintenance. Only an older gentleman would put up with you.
He said all that while holding his belly, laughing. Sure, I was chatting with an older gentleman, but he's not my new hubby, nor is he some old guy for him to mock. He's a person worthy of respect. It's not something to joke about. It's not something to joke about. I was so ticked off by his brazen behavior that I shot back. Do you even realize what you're saying?
To begin with, I don't owe you any conversation. Get out of my sight.
My words seem to have the reverse effect. Did I strike a nerve?
You don't everyone to know that you married an old man, do you? Oh, that must be so off-putting. Your future's all about elder care. It's going to be a slog, or is it one of those gold digging marriages? You're the worst.
I wanted to fire back, but found myself being ridiculed instead. Everyone around us who overheard the conversation was aghast. The mood turned icy, but Owen was the only one clueless to it. Fortunately, there weren't many people around.
Zip it. Do you know who this gentleman in this? He's the chairman of the groom's company. Knock off your disrespectful remarks.
What only now with the frosty stares from those around us was Owen taken aback. Wait a sec, what a sec. Big deal here, this guy, I just thought he's not even your husband.
Actually, this gentleman is Mila's grandpa and the big boss of a major corporation. Her fiancé is set to marry into the family and take over the business.
Man, you're such a doofus, aren't you? You've really crossed the line with your rudeness.
I was actually curious why you'd even turn up here.
No, I'm the groom's best buddy. I just wanted to join the party, that's all.
That was his defense. He was spinning this wild yarn, his face turning whiter by the second, starting to sweat bullets. You could tell he was lying through his teeth.
Maybe it's time to hit the road, huh? Learn to read the room. I bet you wormed your way into an invite to this wedding. Clearly, you're the odd man out here.
Just as I said this, the groom, who had caught wind of the ruckus, came over on his own.
I apologize to everyone here. Facing the groom, Owen asked. What's the deal here?
I just wanted to toast your wedding. I hauled myself all the way here because you invited me.
He stated the obvious, but was incredibly rude about it.
I invited you because you wouldn't stop pestering me about it.
Turns out, I was right on the money. Were you hoping to use the groom's invite to score some job leads?
Your schemes are so transparent and predictable. It's just like you to worm your way into a wedding by making a nuisance of yourself.
Given the potential business partners at today's ceremony, Owen probably thought he could score a new gig amongst them. The fact that he's trying to hijack someone else's wedding to push himself is just pathetic.
And you're fouling it up. I had it all planned out, but you keep fouling it up. I could have been raking in millions at the casinos by now. Hershey's, if you hadn't taken me for Alma, I could be raking in millions at the casinos by now. But you keep sticking your nose in. I could have sweet-talked Luke today, if it weren't for you.
So, he planned to bamboozle the groom into providing job referrals. What a train wreck. Suddenly, Mila's grandpa, who had kept his peace the whole time, piped up.
Mark my words, Jester. I won't let what you've done slide. Trying to wreck a wedding. No one would ever hire a guy like you. Don't underestimate my reach. I'll make sure to put the kibosh on you.
That's what he said. Owen managed to tick off the usually jovial and gentle grandpa. After that, he kept spouting off insults like, "There's no way you could do that. Quit bluffing." But security finally arrived and showed him the door. There was a bit of a scene, but once Owen was out of the picture, Mila's wedding carried on as if nothing had happened. I was relieved that it turned out to be a beautiful ceremony, leaving everyone there deeply touched.
Seeing your joyful face made me feel like I got a slice of your happiness, Malai. Sure, Emily, we've got to leave that clueless yahoo in the dust and move on. Let's both find our bliss.
I had this chat with Mila as I was heading out.
Dude, just who the heck is that old guy? Your offer so I've fallen crazy in love with a girl. And we were planning to get married once I landed a job, but no matter how much I job hunt, nobody will even look at my applications. When I ask why, they tell me Yeah, we don't want to deal with someone as tactless as you. That's all I say. Can you please have a word with the old man for me? You know him, right?
He begged, his voice almost breaking. I had a tough time keeping a straight face. I knew that Grandpa had some serious clout, but I didn't expect it to shake up Owen this badly.
He did warn you, saying, "I will never forgive you, remember that." It's your own fault for underestimating the old man's network. I'm pretty sure there's a 120 chance that you won't find a job in this area. It's a bummer. Seems like you finally wanted to get your excuses act together. It's probably just a matter of time before your girlfriend gives you the boot. Karma's a bite.
I let him have it with all the stuff I'd been holding back.
And I didn't call you to hear you badmouth me. I want you to reach out to the old man. I want to apologize. Without his help, my future's in the dumps. You're my last resort. Remember, we were once an item.
I couldn't believe the nerve of the guy. Not only was I naive enough to have married him, but the woman who's planning to marry him is equally gullible.
Why are you so fixated on a full-time job? Can't you make a decent living with a few part-time gigs? Aren't you still gambling anyway? If you get a full-time job and start causing issues by ditching work without notice, it would be better if you just stick to part-time work. I don't have time for this. Sorry, but lose my number.
I said before cutting him off. Owen, being the stubborn guy that he is, I thought he'd keep on calling, but to my surprise, I got nothing. It was a relief, given that dealing with him is such a pain. Later on, I got the lowdown that he got the boot from his serious girlfriend. I knew it was bound to happen, but I'm actually bummed that it ended so quickly. Of course, the reason for the breakup was his inability to land a steady job even at the ripe age of 40. Apparently, her folks didn't give their blessings to the marriage. Tiffy rang me up again, moaning about his job search. I was ready to lay into him with a truth bomb that would floor him. But for now, since he's gone radio silent, I've let him stew. After being at Mila's wedding, I started thinking that maybe it's time for me to take the leap towards happiness again. I'm not quite ready to tie the knot again, but I'm starting to picture that life. I want to show my parents their grandkid's face, and they want a slice of that happiness too. Life's a long road, and I don't know what's around the corner, but I'm set on appreciating my current fiancé while making the most of each day.